Hey VC, how's it going? Right, okay. I hope you all had a good festive period. So I'm recording this video on New Year's Eve morning. I've got 5 minutes to myself, so I thought I'd show some records. Probably won't get a chance to upload it though until 2020, so Happy New Year to you all. This is what I'm listening to in the background. This is Dr. K, Gayassi and his Noble Kings. This is a record from Ghana, early 80s. I think if I had a reissue label, I think this would probably be top of my list as records to put out. Absolutely beautiful stuff. So, yeah, great stuff. Right. So over the last few months, I've been listening to a lot of female vocalists. That tends to be the stuff that I've been spinning, but also the records I've been buying as well. So I thought I'd just take the opportunity to show a few of them. So first up, Mary Clayton, Gimme Shelter. Now this is just a classic soul album, early 70s. She famously sang backing vocals on the Stones' original version of Gimme Shelter, and she re-records it for this album, and it's a brilliant version. I personally prefer it to the original. I don't think everybody does, but it's a wonderful version. I think I've done a needle drop on it before, but the album of hers that I've been listening to quite a bit recently is the album that came before it, self-titled record, Mary Clayton. She does a wonderful version of Neil Young's Southern Man. But the song that I've been playing most of all is her version of Grandma's Hands, the Bill Withers tune. I've seen a lot of people show the Still Bill album in the VC recently, Bill Withers' Still Bill, which is one of my favourite records, an absolutely perfect record from start to finish. And that got me listening to the Bill Withers live album from the early 70s on Sussex. One of my favourite live records. I think it's wonderful. If you haven't heard it, check it out. But yeah, that sent me down the path of listening to this, and yeah, this one that's been on the deck quite a bit over the last month or so. I'll do a needle drop on the track Grandma's Hands because it's definitely worth hearing. So cool. Right, I have treated myself to a couple of records over Christmas. I haven't bought much in December, as I mentioned before, but yeah, so I did buy this earlier in the week. This is Frida Payne and Reaching Out. Now I saw Lawrence Mellow Mano 414. I'll put his handle up on the screen. But yeah, so if you like the stuff that I show in my videos, you'll definitely like what Lawrence shows. You know, he shows similar stuff, but loads of stuff that I've never seen before, never heard. So he does needle drops as well. So it's always nice to hear something new. So very cool. But he showed this in his last video, and this is a record I've been after for quite a while now, looking for an original copy of it. Never see it when I'm out and about. So Domino have just put out this nice reissue. I think it's Demon actually. Sorry, Demon have put out this nice reissue. Now Frida Payne, she recorded this for the Invictus label, which was Dozier Holland's label. So they famously wrote all those wonderful songs for Motown in the 60s, the likes of Stop in the Name of Love, Bernadette, Walk Away Renee, and basically ended up leaving Motown because they wanted a higher royalty rate, but Berry Gordy, ever the tough businessman, wouldn't give them more money. So they left and went to Capitol Records. They set up Invictus, and they made records for the likes of Frida Payne, chairman of the board, and they had reasonable success. But yeah, I think, you know, I've been reading an interview recently with Brian and Eddie Holland where they basically said that Capitol Records just didn't know how to market black artists or promote music to a black audience, which was probably the failing of the label in the end. But there's some wonderful music there. So this is from 1973 on Invictus. The highlights are the two tracks that are written by Dozier Holland. So the opening track, Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right, but also a track called Mother Misery's Favourite Child, which I'll do a needle drop on. This is a lovely reissue actually. It's really heavy duty vinyl. The pressing sounds great, so if you fancy it, I'd definitely recommend picking it up. So lovely stuff. Right, another record that I picked up beginning of December, and I think this is one of the highlights of the year. This is a compilation put together by Strut Records of music by Patrice Rushen. So this is the stuff that she recorded for Elektra. So I think it's from 1978 to 1984. Triple album. I didn't buy it when it came out, it was too expensive, but I managed to get a cheaper copy, say, over the last few weeks online. This is wonderful stuff. I love Patrice Rushen. Her first few albums are very jazzy, you know, a jazz musician, but she went on to move into that sort of soul disco sound, which is probably what she's famous for. A big tune, of course, is Forget Me Nots, and I'll probably do a needle drop on that actually a bit later because I do love that song. But yeah, this is a wonderful compilation. I say it's that soul disco sound. It just does have sort of jazzy touches here and there, and it moves into more electronic sound as you get to the end of that sort of 1984 period. But wonderful stuff. I say, such a talented woman, you know, sort of great vocalist, musician, arranger, producer. Yeah, faultless. Definitely recommend that. Right, okay, another, well, this isn't a new release from this year. I think it's a couple of years old now. I think this came out in 2017, I think. This is Jackie Shane. This is a compilation album that's been put out by Numero Records. Now, I like Numero. I think what they do, they look for usually unreleased stuff or little known stuff by small artists, and they compile them in these lovely packages. This is a nice gatefold sleeve, a beautiful booklet in there as well. I think like a 30-page booklet explaining the life of Jackie Shane. Now Jackie Shane was born a man, but he lived his life as a woman. So he wasn't a drag queen. He recorded and performed as a woman, but he also lived his life as a woman as well. You know, so he's an openly gay man, which, as you can imagine, in America in the late 50s, early 60s, was pretty tough, I should imagine. You know, so. But he did make some wonderful soul records. It was that sort of traditional R&B sound. So I'll do a needle drop on one of the tunes. Any Other Way, the song is absolutely wonderful stuff. I say Numero have done a great job on this. Again, Numero in the UK, their releases can be quite expensive. I'm assuming because of having to import it over to the UK. But as I say, I waited a little while on this one and got this for a really good price. So I definitely recommend checking it out. A really interesting story. So yeah, great stuff. Right, okay. Gwen McRae, this is her album Let's Straighten It Out, 1978 on Cat Records. There's the label. So obviously Gwen McRae, she was married to George McRae, of course, who had that massive hit with Rocky Baby, I think 1974. This is from 78. She had solo success herself, although she did record with her husband. I really like this record. I'll do a needle drop on this. The opening track's a song called Early Morning Love, which is written by Sam Dees, obviously a great soul singer himself, but he did write so many great songs for other artists. So I'll do a needle drop on that. But yeah, this is something I picked up in the summer. Yeah, so really pleased to find that one. And just finally, a couple of records I bought yesterday actually. I've been listening to a lot of Earth, Wind and Fire, and for all intents and purposes, these are both Earth, Wind and Fire records. These are by The Emotions. This is real cheap stuff, you know, you get these for a few quid. So I picked them up just purely because I listened to Earth, Wind and Fire so much. These are produced by Maurice White. Actually, Maurice White and Charles Stepney recorded this record, but all of the music is done by Earth, Wind and Fire, with The Emotions singing over the top. And it's lovely stuff. It is that soul disco sound. I'm quite partial to that. So that's the album Flowers, and this is the one with their massive hit on Best of My Love, one of my favourite records of the 1970s, if I'm honest. This is the album Rejoice, but lovely stuff, so cheers.
Grandma's hands clapped in church on Sunday morning. Grandma's hands played a tambourine so well. Grandma's hands used to issue out a warning. She said, "Baby, sister, don't you run so fast. You might fall on a piece of glass. Might be snakes there in the grass." Grandma's hands soothe the local unwed mother. Grandma's hands used to ache sometimes and swell. Grandma's hands used to lift her face to tell her. She said, "Baby, Grandma understands that you really love that man. Put yourself in Jesus' hands." Grandma's hands. Here you come again, and you say that you're my friend, but I don't know why you're here. She wants to know how I feel. Tell her that I